Aging brings unique wisdom, but sometimes carries a burden of unspoken anxieties. Imagine finding profound peace amidst life's inevitable changes and a restless mind. Anxiety and a restless mind? Discover 3 Buddhist strategies to regain your peace in old age. My dear friends, greetings to you. I see you there, perhaps sitting in your favorite chair, a cup of tea warming your hands, or simply pausing in the quiet of your day. It is an honor to share this time with you. Many of you have journeyed through decades, experiencing the vibrant tapestry of life in all its colors: joy, love, challenge, and perhaps a quiet seeking for something more profound as the years unfold. Have you ever felt, as the world around you seems to spin ever faster, a persistent hum of anxiety? A restless whisper in your mind, even when your body yearns for stillness? Perhaps it's a worry about loved ones, about health, about what tomorrow might bring, or a quiet regret about yesterday. Do you sometimes wonder why, despite all your life experience, despite the wisdom you've gathered, your mind still struggles to find that deep, unshakable peace it craves? It's a natural human experience, this dance with worry. The mind, like a playful monkey, loves to leap from branch to branch, from past to future, rarely settling in the gentle now. But what if there was another way to look at this stage of life, not as an inevitable slide into worry, but as a golden opportunity for profound inner peace? What if the very anxieties you face hold the key to a deeper understanding, a greater serenity? Today, I wish to share with you not a lecture, but a journey inward, guided by ancient wisdom. We will explore together 3 simple, yet profound, Buddhist strategies that can help calm that restless mind and invite a lasting peace into your heart, especially in these precious years of your life. So, take a slow, gentle breath, allow your shoulders to soften, and let us begin. Our first strategy addresses a deeply human struggle, the challenge of change and the difficulty of letting go. Have you ever found yourself replaying old conversations, reliving moments from long ago, perhaps with a touch of longing or regret? Or perhaps you worry about what the future holds, the health of a loved one, changes in your own body, the evolving world around you. This attachment to what was, or fear of what might be, often creates a knot of anxiety in our stomachs, a tightness in our chests. It's a natural reaction, isn't it? We crave stability, familiarity. We want things to stay the same, to be predictable, comfortable. In the teachings of the Buddha, there is a fundamental truth called anicca, which means impermanence. It is the understanding that everything, absolutely everything, is constantly changing. The mountains, the rivers, the seasons, our bodies, our relationships, our thoughts, our feelings, all are in a ceaseless flow of change. Nothing remains fixed. This truth, when truly understood, is not a cause for despair, but a profound invitation to freedom. Because if we cling to things as if they were permanent, when they inevitably change, we experience suffering. Our resistance to change is often the very root of our anxiety. Let me share a simple story, one told in the quiet corners of monasteries for generations. There was once an old monk, very wise and beloved, who lived in a small temple nestled by a fast-flowing river. Every morning, he would sit by the riverbank, observing the water. One day, a young, earnest student approached him, his brow furrowed with worry. "Master," he said, "I find myself constantly anxious. I worry about my studies, about my future, about the well-being of my family. My mind feels like a tangled fishing net." The old monk smiled gently. "My dear boy," he replied, "look at the river. Does it ever stop flowing? Does it worry about where it came from or where it is going? Does it cling to the pebbles it washes over, or does it simply let them go and continue its journey?" The student pondered this. "But master," he said, "we are not rivers. We have thoughts, memories, attachments." "Indeed," said the monk, And that is our challenge and our opportunity. The river teaches us not to become the water, but to learn from its nature. Observe how the river simply embraces each new moment, each new obstacle, each new turn. It doesn't fight the rocks. It flows around them. It doesn't lament the water that has passed. It welcomes the water that comes. Can you imagine the river trying to hold onto a single drop, or trying to force every drop to stay? The student began to understand. The anxiety he felt was his mind trying to hold on to drops of water, trying to control the uncontrollable flow. This is our first strategy, my dear friends, to learn the art of letting go. It doesn't mean becoming indifferent or uncaring. It means understanding that resistance to change is a painful endeavor. It means recognizing that the past is a memory, the future is an imagination, and only the present is real. When thoughts of regret arise, can you acknowledge them gently, like observing a cloud passing in the sky, and then let them drift away? When worries about tomorrow surface, can you recognize them as simply thoughts, not predictions, and gently return your attention to what is right here, right now? This is a practice. It is not about forcing these thoughts away, but about observing them without judgment, understanding their impermanent nature, and choosing not to cling to them. What if, for a moment, you allowed yourself to simply be, releasing the grip on what was and what might be, and trusting in the flow of life, just like the river? This practice softens the heart, eases the grip of anxiety, and frees up immense energy that was once spent in futile resistance. This brings us quite naturally to our second strategy, which works hand in hand with the first, cultivating present moment awareness, often called mindfulness. If the mind is a restless monkey, always jumping, always agitated, how do we bring it to a place of calm? Have you ever found yourself eating a meal, only to realize you barely tasted it because your mind was elsewhere? Or perhaps you've taken a walk in nature, but your thoughts were so loud that you missed the bird song, the scent of the flowers, the warmth of the sun on your skin. In our modern world, with so many distractions and demands, it's easy for our minds to become fragmented, pulled in 100 different directions. This scattering of attention is a major contributor to that feeling of unease and anxiety. Mindfulness, or sati, in the ancient language of the Buddha, is not about emptying your mind or stopping your thoughts. It is simply about paying attention, on purpose, to the present moment, without judgment. It is about waking up to the richness of life that is happening right here, right now, beneath the surface of our worries and distractions. It is like turning on a light in a dimly lit room. Suddenly, you see things you hadn't noticed before. Let me share another story. There was a farmer, known for his beautiful garden and his serene demeanor. People would often ask him, "How do you manage to grow such vibrant flowers and peaceful vegetables when your neighbors struggle so much and you always seem so calm?" The farmer would smile. "It's simple," he would say. "When I plant a seed, I plant a seed. I feel the earth. I smell its richness. I place the tiny seed with care. My mind is only on the seed. When I water the plants, I water the plants. I watch the drops soak into the soil, listen to the gentle splash, and feel the coolness on my hands. My mind is only on the water. When I eat my simple meal, I eat my meal. I taste each flavor, feel the texture, chew slowly, grateful for the sustenance. My mind is only on the food." "My neighbors," he observed, "when they plant a seed, they are already worrying about the harvest. When they water, they are thinking about other tasks. When they eat, their minds are elsewhere, perhaps replaying arguments or planning their next project. They are rarely fully present in the act they are doing." This is the essence of cultivating present moment awareness. My friends, it is not some complex spiritual technique, but a return to simplicity, a reclamation of our attention. You don't need special equipment or a quiet mountaintop. You can practice it right where you are. As you sip your tea or coffee, truly taste it. Feel the warmth of the cup in your hands. Notice the aroma. As you walk, feel your feet on the ground. Notice the subtle movement of your body. Look at the colors around you. Listen to the sounds. When you are speaking with someone, truly listen to their words, rather than formulating your reply in your head. When thoughts of the past or future arise, as they inevitably will, simply acknowledge them. Ah, a thought about yesterday. Or, ah, a thought about tomorrow. And gently bring your attention back to your breath, back to the simple sensations of your body, back to whatever you are doing right now. This practice is like building a muscle. At first, your mind will wander constantly, and that is perfectly normal. Don't criticize yourself. Just gently, patiently, bring it back again and again. Each time you do, you are strengthening your capacity for presence, for peace. You are untangling that restless mind. And as you become more present, you will find that the simple joys of life, which were always there, but often overlooked, begin to shine brightly. A grandchild's laughter, the quiet comfort of your home, the taste of a perfectly ripe fruit, these moments become rich and full, anchors in a world that often feels chaotic. What if, just for a few moments each day, you intentionally brought your full attention to one simple activity? How might that shift the landscape of your inner world, softening the edges of anxiety and inviting a deeper sense of calm? Now, let us turn to our third strategy, one that is perhaps the most tender and transformative: nurturing compassion, especially for oneself. Many of you, having lived full lives, may carry unspoken burdens. Perhaps there are regrets about choices made or opportunities missed. Perhaps you observe changes in your body, your memory, your capabilities, and a harsh inner critic whispers judgments about growing older, about not being as capable as you once were, or perhaps feeling like a burden. This self-criticism, this lack of gentle understanding for ourselves, creates a deep well of suffering and feeds that persistent anxiety. In Buddhist wisdom, metta or loving kindness and karuna or compassion are central. Often we are taught to extend compassion to others, which is noble and necessary. But true compassion must begin with ourselves. Just as we would offer a comforting hand to a struggling friend, or speak kind words to a loved one in pain, we must learn to offer that same tenderness to our own hearts, especially when we are feeling anxious, regretful, or simply struggling with the realities of aging. Let me share a story about a seeker who spent many years meditating in the forest, striving for enlightenment. He was disciplined, rigorous, and often very hard on himself. If his mind wandered during meditation, he would chastise himself. If he felt pain in his body, he would try to suppress it. One day, he went to his wise teacher, feeling defeated. "Master," he confessed, "I strive so hard, yet peace eludes me. My mind is still restless, and I feel a constant tension within." The teacher looked at him with great warmth. "My dear student," he said, "tell me, if a bird tries too hard to fly, flapping its wings furiously and stiffening its body, will it soar gracefully?" The student shook his head. "No, master, it will struggle and perhaps fall." "And if it is too lax, too relaxed, will it fly?" "No, it will remain grounded." "Exactly," said the teacher. "The path to peace is like the flight of the bird. It requires both effort and ease. You have applied much effort, but where is the ease? Where is the kindness towards your own striving heart?" The teacher continued, "Imagine you have a small, tender plant that is struggling to grow. Do you yell at it to grow faster? Do you criticize it for having a wilting leaf? Or do you gently water it, give it sunlight, protect it from harsh winds, and simply trust its nature to unfold?" The student's eyes widened. "I have been so harsh with myself," he realized. "I have treated my own mind and heart like an enemy to be conquered, rather than a tender plant to be nurtured. This, my friends, is the heart of self-compassion. It's about recognizing our common humanity. We all make mistakes. We all face challenges. We all experience pain and fear. Aging is a process that brings its own unique set of changes, and often its own griefs. To meet these experiences with harsh self-judgment only adds another layer of suffering. Instead, what if we could offer ourselves the same gentle understanding we would offer to a dear friend? When anxiety arises, instead of saying, "Why am I feeling this again? I should be stronger," perhaps we can gently acknowledge, here is anxiety. This is a moment of suffering. May I be kind to myself in this moment? This doesn't mean indulging in self-pity or avoiding responsibility. It means creating an inner sanctuary of kindness and acceptance. You can practice this by simply placing a hand gently over your heart when you feel distressed. Breathe into that feeling and silently repeat phrases like, "May I be safe. May I be healthy. May I be free from suffering. May I be at ease." This is a powerful, loving intention directed towards yourself, soothing the inner critic and building resilience. What if, even for a moment each day, you consciously chose to offer yourself kindness instead of criticism? How might that transform your relationship with yourself and, in turn, quiet the anxious whispers of your mind? My dear friends, we have explored 3 pathways to peace: learning the art of letting go, cultivating present moment awareness, and nurturing self-compassion. These are not separate roads, but interconnected paths that gracefully weave together. When you practice letting go of attachment to the past or future, you naturally find yourself more present. When you are present, you are better able to observe your thoughts and feelings, including self-criticism, and thus create space for compassion. And when you offer yourself compassion, you cultivate the inner strength and gentleness needed to let go and to truly inhabit the present moment. Remember, this journey is not about achieving perfection or eradicating all difficult emotions. Life will continue to present its challenges, but these practices offer you tools, a way of being, that can fundamentally change your relationship with those challenges. They allow you to meet life's currents with greater ease, with more stability, and with a deeper wellspring of inner peace. It is a gentle unfolding, a lifelong practice, not a destination to be reached quickly. There will be days when it feels effortless, and days when your mind seems more restless than ever. On those days, simply return to your breath, offer yourself a kind word, and know that each gentle attempt is a step towards freedom. Old age, these precious twilight years, is not a time for retreat into fear or anxiety. It is perhaps the most opportune time for profound spiritual growth, for truly savoring the preciousness of life, for cultivating a peace that no external circumstance can disturb. You have lived much, learned much, and loved much. Now is the time to gather that wisdom and turn it inward, to tend to the garden of your own heart with gentle care. Imagine approaching each day with an open heart, a calm mind, and a deep sense of presence, regardless of what unfolds. This is not a distant dream, but a living possibility, accessible to each one of us. Take a moment now, if you will, to simply breathe. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest. Let your mind settle, even if just for a few seconds. Know that within you lies an inexhaustible source of peace, waiting to be rediscovered. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering. And may you find the deepest peace that your heart desires. Go gently, my friends, and carry this wisdom with you.